At first, the old woman didn't pay it any mind. Her husband said there was a huge spider behind the wall. But she thought it was just his dementia acting up, until late at night, when all was quiet. The old woman was startled awake, and saw a gigantic monster appear right before her eyes. Terrified, she rushed out frantically to call for help. Shortly after the old woman passed away, Luke moved into this house. This was a town built specifically for retirees. But Luke didn't like living here. His wife had signed them up before she died. And since there was no room at his daughter's house, he was sent here. Some of the neighbors were too friendly, while others were downright creepy. So the very next day, he went to the community center, intending to discuss canceling his contract. But just then, the music playing made him feel uneasy. He was transported back to the moment just before his wife passed away. They had been dancing together, when she suddenly struggled to breathe and collapsed. Luke didn't know what had happened. This made him feel very uncomfortable, so he left the community center. But as soon as he got home, he saw an old man appear in the room. It was the elderly woman's husband. Luke asked him what he was doing there. But Ace seemed to be having another dementia episode. He asked where his wife had gone, and claimed there was something inside the wall.
What is?
The owl.
Owl?
Ace mistakenly believed Luke had taken his wife away, and kept demanding to know where she was. Fortunately, Luke was quick on his feet, and managed to restrain him. Just then, medical staff from the nursing home arrived. That's how Luke narrowly escaped trouble. Later, escorted by security, Luke arrived at a nursing home, where all the residents suffered from Alzheimer's disease. The director, Matt, greeted Luke, and told him that Ace wanted to apologize. So Luke went to see Ace.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Cooper. I am sorry.
He began to worry that he too might develop Alzheimer's one day. Since lately he had been seeing visions of his deceased wife, Luke decided against terminating the contract. But just as he resolved to stay, strange things began to happen. That night, Luke had just fallen asleep, when he heard the beeping of an electronic device. He hated electronic devices more than anything. So as soon as he moved in, he had broken the emergency call button. He was certain the sound wasn't coming from his own room. He stepped out of his room to investigate, and realized it was coming from his neighbor Paul's place. He knocked and called out, but no one answered, worried that Paul might be in an emergency. He broke the glass, opened the door, and went inside. But he never could have imagined that what he saw would be such a terrifying sight. Soon after, medical personnel arrived at Paul's home. The doctor said Paul had died of heart failure.
It wasn't a heart attack.
Okay, what was it?
I don't know.
Luke didn't know what it was either. He only said it was an animal. When the doctor asked him what kind of animal it was, he still couldn't say. The doctor concluded that Luke was hallucinating. However, Luke was convinced he hadn't seen things wrong, so he rushed to the nursing home to visit Ace, and asked if he remembered him mentioning an owl.
You're the one looking for the owl.
That's right.
I caught one.
You did?
I locked it up. Where? You need the key.
Key? What key?
The key is in the light. The owl is in the walls. The key is in the light. The owl is in the wall.
Ace kept repeating those two sentences. Seeing this, the staff hurriedly pulled him back inside. Luke returned home. He recalled that Ace had been rummaging through his room. So he searched behind the lampshades for a key. He took apart several pendant lights but found nothing, until he discovered the key inside the lampshade over the sink. It looked like a warehouse key. Luke quickly found Ace's warehouse, but when he opened a box,
Good job, Edward. You caught one.
it turned out to be just a lifelike craft. Luke resignedly took the owl back home. But just as he was pondering what kind of monster he had seen at Paul's house, a blue light suddenly flashed from the kitchen.